Lawsuits loom over the University of Oklahoma. A key witness testifies in the impeachment inquiry, and community leaders combat hunger in the state. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Talon Forbis.
And I'm Grace Whitten. The OU Board of Regents is meeting today and tomorrow, and on the agenda, the board is discussing changes in OU's conflict of interest policies and creating search committees for various dean positions.
But there will also be a closed executive meeting in which the regents will discuss a number of lawsuits pending against the university. This includes former College of International Studies Dean Suzette Grillot's lawsuit against the university, which alleges wage discrimination and a First Amendment violation. In the secret session, the regents will also discuss a suit from former OU employee Levi Hillard, who alleges former OU Vice President Tripp Hall sexually assaulted him.
The regents will also talk about creating a conflict of interest office on the Norman campus and at the Health Sciences Center in an effort to make the policy more consistent across campuses. The regents are also voting on 3 different search committees for the Dean of Libraries, Dean of the Honors College, and the Dean of Professional and Continuing Studies. An Oklahoma abortion clinic has asked the state Supreme Court to review a judge's decision. Oklahoma County District Judge Cindy Trong upheld a ban on a second trimester abortion procedure back in July. The Tulsa Women's Reproductive Clinic requested an injunction to put the law on hold. The 2015 law restricts the use of instruments in dilation and evacuation abortions after 14 weeks of pregnancy.
Northern Oklahoma officials will pay $12.5 million to settle a lawsuit in the death of an inmate. The lawsuit accused Garfield County officials of negligence and violating the inmate's rights. 58-year-old Anthony Huff was placed in a restraint chair following an arrest for public intoxication. He was later found dead. Former jail administrator Jennifer Niles pleaded guilty to second-degree manslaughter. She was sentenced to 55 hours in jail.
The cleanup is underway in parts of Dallas after a powerful weekend tornado knocked out power and caused severe damage. There are streets that are still impassable until large trees can be removed. JD Miles has more.
We got under there's a pretty strong pine table there, so we got under that and just kind of held each other and held on for dear life. And
Joe Eccles showed us where he hid with his son minutes after getting word of a tornado warning. His home is behind the Home Depot, hit by the tornado, and fortunately his 67-year-old house, which was its next target, had a basement.
And as it got more and more violent, I was really concerned that this was going to start collapsing.
The room he was in upstairs did collapse and his home was destroyed. Nancy Schmitz was lucky her nearby home escaped major damage, but she's still dealing with a lot of cleanup.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if insurance is going to cover it, so I have to, obviously I have to take care of it myself.
It's the second severe storm to rock this neighborhood this year, and Schmitz is still traumatized by what she experienced.
Because it was so loud, and I'm reliving it right now. It was horrible. Yeah, it's going through it, twice in 4 months.
That storm was one of 3 tornadoes to hit the DFW area. The good news, no one was seriously injured.
That definitely is good news to hear. Well, here in Oklahoma, it definitely seems like fall weather is here.
Bradley Weaver joins us with a first look at our forecast.
It's been an absolutely beautiful fall day outside. Currently in Norman, we are at 70 degrees. We're a little bit warmer down towards the south and a little bit cooler off towards the north. If you have a chance to go outside today, go out and enjoy it because we're tracking a cold front, also some rain chances into the middle of the week, and we're going to be looking ahead into the weekend for your forecast. But for now, back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Bradley. Former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine Bill Taylor testified today before 3 House committees as part of the impeachment inquiry. During the questioning, Taylor told lawmakers financial aid to Ukraine could have been held up to put pressure on the country to publicly announce an investigation into former Vice President Joe Biden and his son. Taylor says that information came from the U.S. ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, who has also spoken to impeachment investigators in recent weeks.
And as the impeachment inquiry heats up, Kayla Davis now joins us in the News Center to tell us how the president is responding.
Yes, President Trump has used the phrases witch hunt and fraud when referencing the impeachment inquiry. But today marks the first use of the term lynching. The president took to Twitter to express his frustrations, calling the impeachment inquiry unfair. Many people, including Democrats and Republicans, are upset by the term lynching because it is associated with a period of horrific racial violence in the U.S. The White House Deputy Press Secretary explained what Trump meant in his tweet.
Yeah, but the president's not comparing what happened to him with one of our darkest moments in American history. He's just not. What he's explaining clearly is the way he's been treated by the media since he announced for president.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said use of the word lynching was unfortunate. And Syria's 5-day ceasefire ended today. The ceasefire was agreed upon by the Turkish president and Vice President Mike Pence last Thursday after President Trump announced that U.S. troops would leave the border area, and Turkey launched a military offensive in northeastern Syria. Russia and Turkey have since made an agreement to establish a joint patrol on the Turkish and Syrian border. After this agreement, the Russian defense minister said they need to deploy additional troops and equipment to Syria to ensure thorough patrols. And British lawmakers are asking for more time for the Brexit process. This comes after the British Prime Minister's Brexit bill passed Parliament with an October 31st deadline in mind. The European Council president said on Twitter that he recommends the European Union accept the UK's request for a time extension. In Talon, former President Jimmy Carter fell in his Georgia home last night and was hospitalized. Although he was treated for a minor pelvic fracture, he's in good spirits and is looking forward to a recovery at home.
Thanks, Kayla. We hope he has a quick recovery. And many families in Oklahoma don't know where their next meal is from. Find out what state leaders are doing to help end hunger in Oklahoma.
Plus, one organization is making a change to create a safer Halloween for children with allergies. Find out how they're raising awareness when OU Nightly continues. Welcome back to OU Nightly. Community leaders are joining together to work toward ending hunger in Oklahoma. OU Nightly's Tevis Hillis went to the first Hungry for Change conference to talk to some leaders about how groups can make a difference.
Imagine living in a state where people have to pick between buying groceries and paying for their electricity bill. That 15.5% of the households are food insecure. That 32 out of 77 counties are in food deserts. This is something Oklahoma is facing. And at this conference today, many are working towards a better tomorrow.
Statistics are scary, but leaders throughout the state are working together to figure out the next steps for the community.
There's a huge appetite of community-based folks who are really doing work on the ground to address hunger in their community, to understand what's happening.
Each person at this conference is here to work in their community, but the overall goal is to fix Oklahoma.
We can all be working in the same direction together rather than sort of with blinders in our own communities.
As it'll take some time to get information out about programs, organizations, and people who can help, this is their first step.
First thing to do is to start the conversation and keep it going. If people aren't aware that the issue exists, then no change will actually happen, but we hope to influence policies and existing practices and change them for the better.
Now this is the first conference that they get to start discussing, start raising awareness, and start deciding on new programs. But this is just an uphill battle. Reporting on campus, Tevis Hillis, OU Nightly.
If you would like to start the conversation, use hashtag HungerOK19 on social media. Organizers say change starts with the discussion.
And although the holidays are still several weeks away, medical experts say now is the best time to think about an illness that seems to spread quickly during the holidays. Mckenzie Gladney joins us now with suggestions.
Right now is the perfect time to become inoculated against the flu virus. The Oklahoma State Department of Health recently announced that 7 Oklahoma patients have been hospitalized with the flu. This brings the total number of hospitalizations to 34 since September 1st. Last flu season was the longest flu season according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Symptoms of the flu include fever, chills, muscle aches, cough, congestion, and runny nose. There are concerns about lung diseases associated with the vaping in the U.S., but a study out of the UK suggests e-cigarettes can help some people. New research published in the scientific journal Addiction found that vaping helped 70,000 people give up e-cigarettes in England in 2017. Researchers note that there are factors specific to the UK that might mean the study can't be applied elsewhere. England has strict controls on tobacco, and the government promotes the use of vapes as a smoking cessation tool, and smokers there are generally highly motivated to quit. Halloween is next week, and some children are excited about the load up of sweet candy and treats, but some children won't be able to. It's those who deal with food allergies, which are often life-threatening. This Halloween, Project Teal Pumpkin is in full swing. To be more inclusive for students dealing with the condition, homeowners are encouraged to put a teal pumpkin on their doorstep. By doing this, it alerts families that there are non-food treats like small toys available to kids. Isn't that kind of amazing?
That definitely is amazing. I definitely know several little kids that do have some food allergies, like a peanut allergy. So this is exciting that people are actually like doing something, giving out toys, something that you don't have to be afraid of.
I think the best part is just all the little kids will get to feel included, and that's great. I think that's a great feeling.
Yeah, and toys are pretty good too.
That is true. Well, I don't know how many people stop by apartment complexes for trick-or-treating, but hey, I may put a teal pumpkin out there just in case.
Oh, so sweet.
Well, thank you. One Oklahoma group is creating change through hip hop. Find out how next.
And Bradley is back with more on today's forecast.
We're tracking some rain in the forecast. I'll let you know when it'll impact you coming up. Welcome back to OU Nightly. We're taking a look outside right now. It's absolutely beautiful, not a cloud in the sky. Perfect fall day. We are at 71 degrees. We have a little bit of a breeze out of the west-northwest at 15 miles per hour, but it's also really dry. Our dew point's at 26 degrees. Now this is all going to change coming up. Just looking across the state one more time, absolutely beautiful fall day, 70 in Norman, a little bit warmer off towards the south and cooler off towards the north. We are tracking a cold front though going over the next couple of days. So let's put this graphic into motion. We see a cold front that starts to make its way through. It's going to be at our doorstep by Wednesday evening, but watch as it pushes off towards the southeast. Our rain chances start to increase for Wednesday night, and then as we go throughout Wednesday night into Thursday early morning, that's when those rain chances really start to pick up. So if you're heading at the door early on Thursday, give yourself a little bit of extra time because those roads will be slick. And then you're going to want to have an umbrella with you at all times on Thursday because it looks like rain chances are going to be there all the way up until Friday early morning. Now looking at tonight, we're going to cool off into the lower 50s by your midnight hour. Lows tonight are going to be in the 40s, 48 for Norman. And then waking up tomorrow, you will need a light jacket, but you won't really need it for the end of the day, 74 by 5 p.m. And then highs tomorrow are going to be in the mid 70s and upper 80s. 75 is your high tomorrow for Norman. Now looking ahead for the rest of the week, we do have that rain chance for Thursday. We have it at 60%, and then throughout the rest of the week, we're going to be in the mid 50s for highs. We're going to warm up a little bit for the weekend. Sunday's looking like it's going to be a beautiful day, 70 degrees and sunny, and then we're going to cool off for Monday and for Tuesday. But the biggest story is going to be the rain chances that we are going to be tracking for your day on Thursday and for Friday. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually pretty excited for these rain chances. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of rain this year, so I'm definitely looking forward to it, but I'm not really looking forward to the temperatures we're going to be seeing after that. A little bit too cold for me.
I have to disagree. I'm so excited.
Oh, really? Interesting.
For the cold weather, yeah.
You know what? I'm kind of enjoying this like back and forth weather that we're getting. I get a taste of summer weather, then a taste of fall weather.
Every day.
Yes, you never know what you're going to get.
Yep, that's pretty much classic Oklahoma weather in the fall.
That is true. Thank you, Bradley. And men of the space program are Black collegiate males from Oklahoma higher education institutions. This collective has helped open doors to help create change through their hip-hop album. The space program is known for catering to the needs of diverse audiences. The team consists of collegiate male artists that creatively disrupt institutions that oppress Black people and are not inclusive.
It's bigger than educational institutions. This is a societal issue. So how you create change is you tell the truth.
Yeah. The Space Program Collective released their album in April, and you can purchase online at tspalbum.com.
Some of the Sooners' biggest players are up for a big award.
That's right, Lucas Whitaker has that and more in sports. Lucas.
That's right, guys. OU's offensive line is looking to pick up another trophy as the nation's best, and the Astros get started in their third straight World Series. Batter up! Sports is next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Lucas Whitaker, and it's time for sports. The 2019 Oklahoma O-line has been selected as one of the 24 finalists for the Joe Moore Award. Amazingly, after the Sooners watched 4 offensive linemen get drafted by NFL teams last year, the new group assembled this year by O-line coach Bill Biedenboek, is outstanding. Oklahoma is leading the nation with 9.6 yards per play, keeping Sooners quarterback Jalen Hurts upright with only 5 sacks out of 7 games. And rise and shine, Sooner Nation, there's yet another 11 a.m. kickoff this Saturday against Kansas State. But that doesn't stop the hype. Our very own Parker Thune has the game preview. Parker?
Hey, Lucas, the Sooners put their unblemished record on the line this Saturday as they visit Kansas State. Now, it's no secret that the Wildcats are going to attempt to disrupt OU's tempo and dictate the pace of the game. Now, that starts with establishing the run. But don't think for a second that Kenneth Murray and the Sooners aren't going to be prepared to snuff out the ground attack.
For me, like I said before, I'm a kid in the candy shop when you want to come in and say you want to run the ball. So, our mindset is to play physical every week. And I feel like, we've done that this season. I feel like that's what we're going to do this weekend. We're going to go out there and we're going to be us. We're going to do us and let the chips fall where they may.
Now, Lucas, it's really remarkable when you think about all the phenomenal Sooner football teams in recent memory, and then consider that this is the first OU team to start 7-0 since 2004. That's a long time, long enough that the only member of that 2004 team still playing competitive football is Adrian Peterson. For these 2019 Sooners, it'll be another 11 a.m. kickoff when they step into Bill Snyder Family Stadium this Saturday. Lucas.
Thanks, Parker. The Oklahoma women's golf team wrapped up the Jim West Challenge on Monday, finishing in 8th place on the course. As a team, they shot 9 over par in the final round, but finished 6th under par overall. Next up, the White Sands Invitational in the Bahamas. The Washington Nationals will go for their first ever World Series tonight, but if the Houston Astros pull this one off, it might start to feel like a dynasty. The Astros are vying for their second World Series title in 3 years, and they are on the heels of winning 100 games in 3 straight regular seasons. First pitch is at 7:08 p.m. And the NBA regular season tips off tonight. Several new dynamic duos are expected to dominate. I prefer the Clippers' PG and Kawhi. Meanwhile, Zion will start the season on injured reserve. And many predict the Greek Freak will repeat as MVP. And Sam Darnold was overheard on the sidelines last night saying he was seeing ghosts. And let me tell you, I believe him. Darnold played his worst game as a pro, committing 5 turnovers and completing 11 of 32 passes for 86 yards. Good for a QBR rating of 0.7. Yikes! Patriots defense deserves a lot of credit for putting the Jets in their place last night, but after beating Dak and the Cowboys a week ago, Sam Darnold and the Jets are back to reality. And guys, breaking news, starting linebacker for the Jets is now Casper the Ghost.
Hey, just in time for spooky season, huh?
Yes, that's right.
Thank you, Lucas. Well, we've all been there. You get pulled over and you get a ticket, but not for one mother of 3.
Stick around to see how a routine traffic stop turned into a touching moment between an officer and a mom.
I'm Sinclaire Jacobs at the OU Nightly Update Desk. The U.S. Department of Justice has awarded $85.3 million to improve school security. This money will be used to help prevent school violence and support students. And the Oklahoma City Indian Clinic is hosting a women's self-defense seminar. This seminar is intended to give women confidence to defend themselves and provide life-saving techniques. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Sinclaire. This year, there has been 122 citations for children not having car seats, but one Milwaukee police officer took to protect rather than giving a ticket.
On a routine traffic stop, Officer Kevin Zimmerman noticed Andrella Jackson did not have car seats but had 3 kids. Instead of giving her a ticket, the officer went to Walmart and bought her car seats. Zimmerman said he did it because he is a parent and doesn't want anything to happen to the kids.
Well, I definitely do not get that lucky with tickets.
I can agree.
Yeah, and then just taking another look at the 7-day, we're tracking that cold front making its way through on Thursday, and then we're going to have a nice weekend ahead of us, especially for Sunday.
Awesome. Thanks, Bradley. Well, thank you for tuning in to OU Nightly, brought to you by the Gaylord College of Journalism and Mass Communication.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night, live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.